Deep within the heart of the emerald jungle, where the trees stretched high like nature's spires and the air shimmered with life, the animals gathered in quiet reverence. Today was the day the jungle would meet its new leader, the young Prince Kael. Kael was a vibrant, young jaguar, his sleek golden fur marked with bold rosettes, eyes as bright as the morning sun. From the canopy birds to the prowling ocelots, all awaited his first step into the circle of life. Atop the Great Kapok Tree, the wise old orangutan, Sefu, lifted Kael into view. His weathered face bore the marks of many seasons, his eyes reflecting both wisdom and kindness. Behold, the future of the emerald jungle. Sefu announced, his voice echoing through the green cathedral. Kael's heart swelled with pride, but deep beneath, a flicker of uncertainty stirred. He was young, after all. Could he ever live up to the legacy of his father, Juma, the mighty jaguar king, protector of the jungle's harmony? The crowd erupted in cheers, the monkeys chattering, the parrots squawking their joyous cries. Even the shy pangolins rolled forward, eager to glimpse the prince. But in the shadows, not all shared this joy. In the darker parts of the jungle, hidden among twisted roots and thick undergrowth, lurked Zaahir, Kael's uncle, a fierce and cunning black panther. Zaahir's sleek midnight fur and glowing amber eyes gave him an aura both terrifying and captivating. Zaahir's mind twisted with envy. He had once dreamed of ruling the jungle, not just watching from the sidelines. And with Juma gone, his chance was near, if only he could remove Kael. That night, as the jungle quieted and the moon cast silver beams across the leaves, Zaahir prowled beneath the Great Kapok Tree. His whisper slid through the night like a cold wind. The jungle belongs to the strongest, he murmured, not to the innocent. Far away, Kael lay restless. The weight of expectation pressed on him like the thick jungle vines. He wanted to be brave for Sefu, for his mother Amara, and for the jungle itself. But questions gnawed at his mind. Was he ready for the challenge? Could he face what was to come? Suddenly, a rustle in the leaves made him freeze. A small voice whispered, "Kael." It was Zara, the clever and spirited young monkey who had been Kael's friend since they were cubs. She climbed down from the tree and sat beside him. "You're not alone," she said softly. "We'll face it together." Kael smiled, feeling a warmth spread through his chest. Maybe this journey wouldn't be so frightening after all. Unknown to them both, eyes gleamed in the dark, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The first rays of dawn filtered through the thick canopy, casting golden patches on the jungle floor. Birds sang their morning chorus, and the air was alive with the scent of damp earth and blooming orchids. Kael woke with the jungle's breath, determination hardening his youthful spirit. Today, he decided, he would prove he was ready to be the jungle's protector. He bounded through the undergrowth, Zara darting ahead with effortless agility, her nimble tail flicking with excitement. "Come on, Kael," she called from a branch. "Above, if you want to be king, you've got to learn the jungle's secrets." Kael laughed, chasing after her. The jungle was a sprawling maze of life. Thick roots to climb, rushing streams to cross, hidden caves to explore. Their adventure led them to the ancient Jade Falls, where the water crashed down like liquid emeralds, surrounded by towering ferns. And glowing moss dot here, Sefu had said, the jungle's heart beat strongest. But the peaceful moment was shattered by a sudden roar, deep, fierce, and filled with rage. Kael froze. The sound came from the east, where the shadow thicket lay, a place tangled with thorny vines and whispered fears. "Something's wrong," Zara said, her eyes wide. "That's Zaahir's domain." Kael's fur bristled. His uncle's name sent a chill through him. "We have to see," he said, steeling himself together. They crept toward the shadows, moving with the stealth of the jungle's hunters. As they approached, the source of the roar became clear. Zaahir stood atop a rocky outcrop, his black fur gleaming under the sun. Around him were animals, startled deer, frightened monkeys, and a frightened tiger cub from a distant tribe, trembling in Zaahir's grip. Zaahir's voice was cold as the jungle night. "This jungle is mine to command. The old ways are dead." Kael's heart pounded. He had heard tales of Zaahir's cunning and cruelty, but seeing it was different. "We won't let you harm them," Kael declared, stepping forward. Zaahir's eyes locked on Kael's. "And who will stop me? You, a cub who still fears his own shadow," Kael growled, muscles tensing. He knew he wasn't strong enough yet, but the jungle was watching. Suddenly, from the treetops, a flurry of wings erupted. A flock of parrots swooped down, distracting Zaahir. Zara seized the moment and leaped forward, grabbing the tiger cub and guiding it to safety. Zaahir snarled, but retreated into the thicket. His eyes burning with hatred, Kael watched him go, knowing this was only the beginning. The jungle had changed, and Kael had to grow fast for the future, for the balance, and for the circle of life. The sun climbed higher, filtering through layers of leaves and dappling the jungle floor in shifting patterns of light and shadow. The animals, shaken by Zaahir's sudden attack, slowly returned to their homes. Whispering of the dark times ahead, Kael sat quietly by the riverbank, watching the water ripple over smooth stones. The tiger cub he had saved nestled close beside Zara, their eyes wide but trusting now. Amara, Kael's mother, approached with the grace of the jungle's fiercest protector. Her fur shimmered like moonlight on the river, and her gaze held both love and worry. "You showed courage today," she said softly, nuzzling Kael's shoulder. "But courage alone won't be enough. Zaahir grows stronger by the day." Kael nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "I must learn more," he said. "I must become the leader the jungle needs." Amara's eyes shone. "Then it's time. You meet the guardians." Kael blinked. Guardians. Amara led them deeper into the jungle, past twisting roots and glowing flowers that only bloomed at night. After a long trek, they reached a hidden clearing, bathed in golden light, the sanctuary of the ancients. Here lived the ancient protectors of the jungle taro, the great green anaconda whose wisdom stretched centuries, Lyra, the silver-winged eagle with eyes that pierced the clouds, and Kima, the wise old tortoise, slow but steady. They greeted Kael with solemn nods. "The balance of the jungle is fragile," Taro hissed softly. "Zaahir's darkness threatens not just you, but all who call this place home." Lyra soared overhead, her feathers shimmering. "To be a true leader, Kael, you must understand the jungle's heart, its strength, its pain, and its spirit." Kima spoke slowly. "The jungle's power flows through all life. It must be respected, protected, you must learn to listen. Over the next days, Kael trained under the Guardian's watchful eyes. He learned to move silently like the serpent, to see beyond the obvious like the eagle, and to endure hardship like the tortoise. Zara remained by his side, her quick wit and boundless energy a constant reminder that leadership was not just strength, but friendship and trust. Yet, even as Kael grew stronger, Zaahir's shadow loomed larger. The black panther prowled the jungle edges, gathering followers among the discontented and the fearful. One evening, as Kael rested beneath the stars, Sefu appeared beside him. "The time is coming, Kael," Sefu said quietly. "You must be ready to face not only Zaahir, but the darkness within yourself." Kael clenched his paws, determination flaring anew. The jungle's fate rested on his shoulders, but he was no longer alone. Night had fallen over the emerald jungle, the stars twinkling through the thick canopy like scattered jewels. A cool breeze whispered through the leaves, carrying the scent of wild orchids and damp earth. Kael sat by the edge of a bubbling spring, reflecting on all he had learned from the Guardians. The training was harder than he had imagined, mastering patience like Kima, sharp focus like Lyra, and silent movement like Taro. But more than the lessons, Kael understood now that being a leader meant more than strength. It was about listening to the jungle, feeling its heartbeat, and protecting every life within it. Suddenly, a sharp rustle broke the stillness. From the shadows emerged Rico, a lithe, fearless python Kael had met during his training. Rico was part of the Guardian's circle, known for his stealth and cunning. "Kael," Rico whispered urgently, "Zaahir's forces have grown bolder. He's taken control of the Black Hollow, the deepest part of the jungle, where few dare to tread." Kael's eyes narrowed. The Black Hollow was a place whispered about in fearful tales, a tangled, dark swamp where sunlight barely reached the ground. If Zaahir controls the Black Hollow, Kael said, he can cut off the jungle's lifeblood. Rico nodded grimly. "We must act before he spreads his darkness further." That night, Kael gathered Zara, Rico, and a small band of trusted animals, including Tima, a brave young elephant, and Johnny, a swift cheetah scout. Together, they planned to reclaim the Black Hollow and weaken Zaahir's hold. The journey was perilous. Thick vines clawed at their fur and feathers, swarms of biting insects filled the air, and eerie sounds echoed from the murky waters. Yet Kael felt a new strength growing inside him, the strength of courage, friendship, and hope. As they neared the Black Hollow's edge, they spotted Zaahir's minions, fierce wild boars and snarling jackals guarding the swamp's entrance. Kael took a deep breath, recalling Sefu's words, "Face not only Zaahir, but the darkness within." He stepped forward, voice steady. "This jungle belongs to all who live in it. Zaahir, your reign of fear ends here." Zaahir appeared from the shadows, his eyes blazing like embers. "Foolish cub. The jungle needs a ruler who commands respect, not a boy who hides behind friends." The tension crackled like lightning dots suddenly from the undergrowth. A great roar thundered. It was Juma, Kael's father, or rather his spirit, summoned by the strength of the jungle's heart and Kael's own resolve. "Remember who you are." "Kael," the spirit's voice echoed. "You carry the blood of the Guardians. The jungle's soul is within you." With renewed fire, Kael led his friends into battle, ready to face whatever darkness awaited. The battle at the edge of the Black Hollow raged fiercely, the night alive with snarls, growls, and the clash of claws. Kael's heart hammered in his chest, but he held steady, rallying his friends with every breath. Juma, the young elephant, charged forward, her massive frame scattering Zaahir's boar minions. Johnny darted through the shadows, her cheetah speed striking with precision. Rico slithered silently, disabling traps laid among the tangled roots. Zaahir's voice echoed with fury. "You cannot stop me. The jungle will bow to my shadow." Kael met Zaahir's glare, feeling the fire of his father's spirit coursing through him. "You're wrong," Kael growled. "The jungle belongs to all, not just the strongest." With a powerful leap, Kael engaged Zaahir directly, their fierce roars shaking the ancient trees. But Zaahir was cunning and ruthless. He fought dirty, striking Kael with calculated ferocity. Kael stumbled, feeling the sting of defeat, just as Zaahir moved in for the final blow. Zara swung down from above, kicking him back with nimble strength. "Not today." She shouted. The tide turned. Together, Kael and his friends pushed Zaahir's forces back into the shadows of the swamp. Zaahir snarled in retreat, vanishing deeper into the Black Hollow. Breathing heavily, Kael looked round at his friends. Bruised but unbroken. "We won this battle," he said softly, "but the war is far from over." The jungle seemed to hold its breath. The night settling once more, Sefu appeared from the shadows, his eyes gleaming. "You have taken the first step toward becoming the leader the jungle needs," he said. "But remember, Kael, strength alone is not enough. You must heal the wounds that fear and anger have caused." Kael nodded, the weight of his journey pressing on him. The jungle's future rested not only on victory, but on hope and the courage to unite even those who once stood divided. The days that followed the battle at the Black Hollow were filled with both hope and uncertainty. The jungle hummed with quiet anticipation, its creatures watching Kael's every move. Kael knew the fight against Zaahir was far from over, but he also understood the importance of healing old wounds and building new alliances. Guided by Sefu's wisdom, Kael traveled to the farthest reaches of the Emerald Jungle, places where animals of all kinds lived apart, some wary of others, bound by old grudges and fear. First, they visited the river clan led by Neela, a graceful and fierce jaguar. With a scar over one eye, her pride was strong, but her trust was harder to win. Kael approached with humility. "The jungle is stronger united. Zaahir's darkness threatens us all." Neela's gaze was steady. "Words are easy. Actions show true strength." Kael nodded. "Then let me show you." Together, they patrolled the riverbanks, rescuing trapped creatures and rebuilding damaged nests. Slowly, Neela's mistrust softened. Next, Kael journeyed to the Sky Realm, the towering canopy where eagles, parrots, and monkeys ruled the heights. Here, he met Cora, a bold parrot with feathers like blazing fire. "Why should we follow a ground-bound jaguar?" she challenged, her voice sharp. Kael smiled. "Because the jungle needs every voice, from the roots to the sky." Impressed by his sincerity, Cora agreed to spread the word, uniting the jungle's voices in hope. Finally, Kael visited the cave dwellers, bats, pangolins, and blind snakes who thrived in darkness. At first, they shied away, fearful of outsiders. But Kael showed patience, spending days learning their songs and stories. Slowly, trust grew. Back at the Great Kapok Tree, Kael gathered his new allies. "We are stronger together," he declared. "Zaahir may control the shadows, but the jungle's heart beats in every one of us." The animals cheered, their voices rising in a chorus of unity. Yet, in the distance, Zaahir watched from the black hollow, his eyes burning with rage. "This jungle will be mine," he hissed. No matter the cost, Kael's journey was far from over, but with friendship and courage, the jungle's dawn had truly begun. The jungle pulsed with new energy. The animals, once divided, now stood together under Kael's leadership. The Great Kapok Tree seemed to shine brighter, as if reflecting the hope spreading through the canopy and the forest floor. Yet Kael's nights were restless, dreams haunted him, shadowy visions of Zaahir's clawed hand grasping the jungle's heart, tearing it apart. One evening, Kael sought Sefu's counsel beneath the glowing moonlight. "Sefu," Kael whispered, "the jungle stands with me, but I feel darkness growing inside me too. How do I fight what's within?" The wise orangutan studied him carefully. "The greatest battle you face is not with Zaahir alone, but with yourself. Fear, anger, doubt, they all live within. But so does your strength, your love, and your purpose." Kael nodded slowly, but the struggle felt overwhelming. Days later, news arrived that Zaahir had captured Zara. The jungle erupted in alarm. Zara, Kael's closest friend, was known for her bravery and sharp mind. Without hesitation, Kael gathered his closest allies, Tima, Johnny, Rico, and the newfound River Clan warriors, and set out toward the Black Hollow. The journey was fraught with danger. Poisonous plants, treacherous swamps, and silent predators tested their resolve. Finally, they reached Zaahir's dark fortress, a twisted network of vines and thorns that strangled the life around it. Kael steeled himself, heart-pounding inside. They found Zara chained beneath a giant kapok root. "Kael," she breathed, eyes fierce despite her captivity. "You came?" Zaahir stepped from the shadows, his black fur bristling. "Welcome, nephew. You risk everything for a monkey." "How touching." Kael's voice rang clear. "Release her, Zaahir. It's not too late to stop this." Zaahir laughed, cold and bitter. "You don't understand power. You never will." A fierce battle erupted, Kael and his friends fighting desperately against Zaahir's minions. Kael faced Zaahir alone, their claws tearing through air and shadow. In the midst of the fight, Kael's inner doubts screamed, but with Zaahir's voice echoing in his mind, he found the strength to push back. With a final, powerful strike, Kael forced Zaahir to retreat, breaking Zara's chains. Breathing heavily, Kael embraced Zara. "We'll protect the jungle together." As they emerged from the fortress, the jungle seemed to breathe with relief. Kael knew the fight was not over, but now, with friends beside him and his own spirit tested and strengthened, he was ready. His jungle stirred with a quiet tension, as if every leaf and stone knew a final reckoning was near. Kael and his allies returned to the Great Kapok Tree, their hearts heavy but their spirits unbroken. Zara, now free but marked by her ordeal, stood proudly beside Kael. The bond between them had grown deeper, forged in the fire of danger and trust, met them with a grave expression. Zaahir's darkness spreads faster than we feared. He seeks to corrupt the jungle's very soul. Kael clenched his jaws. Then we must act before it's too late. Together they called a great council, gathering every clan and tribe from the jungle depths to the soaring canopy. For the first time, creatures who had once been wary or hostile sat side by side, united by a common purpose. Kael stepped forward, his voice echoing through the clearing. The jungle belongs to all of us. Zaahir's shadow threatens everything we hold dear, but together we can protect our home and restore balance. The crowd murmured in agreement, a wave of determination rippling through the jungle. As the council planned their defense, Kael felt the weight of leadership settle fully upon him. He knew the battle ahead would test not only their strength, but their hearts. That night, under the shimmering stars, Kael and Zara sat beside the river's edge. "Do you think we can win?" Zara asked softly. Kael looked at her, eyes steady. "We must. For the jungle, for our friends, and for the future." A sudden rustle from the bushes startled them. It was Rico, his scales glinting in the moonlight. "Zaahir moves tonight," he warned. "He strikes at the heart, the Great Kapok Tree." The jungle fell silent. Kael rose, resolve blazing. "Then we stand together. Tonight we fight for everything." Night cloaked the emerald jungle in deep shadows as Kael and the united clans prepared for the battle to come. The Great Kapok Tree, the sacred heart of the jungle, stood tall and proud, a symbol of life and hope. Around its roots, animals of all kinds gathered. Monkeys chattered nervously in the branches. Elephants trumpeted softly, and birds took to the sky, their feathers shining faintly in the moonlight. Kael paced silently, muscles tense. He glanced at Zara, who met his gaze with unwavering courage. "We've come a long way," she said softly. "No matter what happens, I'm proud of you." Kael nodded, the weight of leadership heavy but his heart steady. Suddenly, a chilling roar shattered the night. Zaahir and his shadowy army emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing like embers. "Tonight, the jungle belongs to me." Zaahir snarled, his voice rolling like thunder. The battle erupted in a storm of claws, tusks, and wings. The ground shook beneath the elephant's charge, the air filled with piercing cries and fierce growls. Kael led the charge, weaving through Zaahir's forces with the grace of the jungle's greatest hunters. Zara fought beside him, her swift movements and sharp mind turning the tide again and again. But Zaahir was relentless, his rage fueling. Every strike dot in the heart of the chaos. Kael faced Zaahir once more, their eyes locked to jaguars, bound by blood and fate. Zaahir sneered, "You cannot hide behind friends forever." Kael growled, "I don't have to, because together we are stronger." With a mighty leap, Kael and Zaahir clashed, fur teeth and claws flashing under the moonlight. The jungle held its breath as the battle raged on, the fate of their home hanging in the balance. The battle beneath the Great Kapok Tree raged, with primal fury, every claw swipe, every roar echoing the jungle's very soul. Kael and Zaahir, locked in a fierce duel, embodied the eternal struggle between light and shadow. Kael felt the weight of the jungle's hope coursing through him, the voices of his friends and ancestors urging him onward. with a surge of strength. Born from love and unity, he pushed Zaahir back, their fierce growls filling the air. Zaahir faltered, rage twisting his face, as Kael landed a decisive strike, not to destroy, but to show mercy. "Let go of your hatred, Zaahir," Kael said, voice steady. "The jungle belongs to all of us, not just one." For a long moment, Zaahir's eyes flickered, rage battling something deeper. Then, with a low, grudging growl, he stepped back into the shadows, defeated but alive. The jungle fell silent, the first soft rays of dawn filtering through the canopy. Sefu appeared, his wise eyes shining. "You have done what many could not. You have chosen unity over division." Kael turned to his friends, to the animals gathered in the clearing, their faces glowing with hope. "The jungle's future is ours to protect," together, Kael declared. Zara smiled beside him, the jungle's dawn finally breaking after long night. As the sun rose, the emerald jungle awoke, renewed, a testament to courage, friendship, and the enduring power of the circle of life. End of the story. Thank you for following Kael's journey. If you want, I can also help expand, deepen any part, or create spin-offs for characters like Zara or Zaahir. What do you think? You said. Make story summary, ChatGPT said. Sure. Here's a summary of the story inspired by The Lion King, set in the jungle with Kael's journey. Story summary: Jungle dawn in the heart of the Emerald Jungle. Young jaguar Prince Kael is set to inherit the throne after his father Juma's reign as protector of the jungle. But his uncle Zaahir, a cunning black panther hungry for power, schemes to seize control by spreading darkness and fear. As Kael faces loss and self-doubt, he finds strength through friendship, especially with Zara, a clever monkey, and guidance from ancient guardians of the jungle. Together, they unite the jungle's divided clans, from the river dwellers and sky birds to the mysterious cave inhabitants. Kael learns that leadership requires more than strength. It demands wisdom, courage, and compassion. When Zaahir kidnaps Zara and strikes at the jungle's heart, the Great Kapok Tree, Kael rallies his allies for a final battle. In a fierce showdown beneath the ancient tree, Kael confronts Zaahir, ultimately choosing mercy over hatred. His victory restores balance and unity to the jungle, marking the dawn of a new era where all creatures live together in harmony.